Nimish on the stage. Nimish, Ashar, please.
Well, Nimish has a master's in financial services management from Mumbai University. Having over 2 decades of rich experience in wealth management industry, through the course of his career, he has been associated with prestigious corporate brands such as DSP Merrill Lynch, JM Financial, Prabhudas Leeladhar, Motilal Oswal Financial Services in different roles. He has not only managed prolific clients' portfolios in India, but has successfully handled NRI accounts across Middle East, Singapore, UK, Far East. He's also a marathon runner and a photographer. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nimish Ashar.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. The purpose of this session is to actually introduce you to people who have made a business out of passives. Okay? Because हम लोग सुबह से सुन रहे हैं कि भाई पैसिव्स आर ग्रेट, बट प्रैक्टिकली बहुत लोग बोल रहे हैं कि पॉसिबल नहीं है. लेकिन हम 3 केसेस आज आपके सामने पेश करेंगे जिन्होंने एक सक्सेसफुल प्रैक्टिस बनाई है जिसमें कि पैसिव्स प्ले अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल. Okay, so we will learn from them how they managed to do it, how did they get inspiration. So Nimish, over 50% of your assets is passive funds. मेरे ख्याल से किसी भी इंडिविजुअल एमएफडी के पास में इतने एसेट्स एज अ परसेंटेज नहीं होंगे. So what got you interested in passives?
So basically, I practice, like on core and satellite for all my clients.
Okay.
So the core portfolio is like into all different passive funds.
Okay.
And the satellite is the active part.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So this is what I do, and what I felt is very clearly that active fund managers actually don't add great value. What they charge, and they don't justify the what they charge. So it's like, it's my conviction, and the thing is, like, client's interest is the most important component for my business. So I have to educate client, and that is why I practice your core and satellite model.
तो क्या बताते हो क्लाइंट्स को, क्योंकि क्लाइंट्स को म्यूचुअल फंड कोई नहीं समझ में आता है, अब आप पैसिव्स कैसे समझाते हो उनको?
Yeah, very true, Mr. Khatri. So many a times I have actually experienced that people don't understand the penetration itself of mutual fund industry is less. In passive, it's like, 5-7 years back when I used to promote passive, I was like feeling that I am selling an iPhone in the era of MTNL. So making understand people it was becoming difficult for me, but I gradually convinced them that this is the core thing and this is the future.
लेकिन वो ये नहीं बोलते कि एक्टिव में ज़्यादा पैसा बनता है, हमें तो एक्टिव फंड ही दीजिए.
No, so I have certain data to convince them. I have certain, I tell them the way the simplicity is, the kind of low cost which is there, and the risk which is there as compared to active.
Okay.
So they get convinced over a period of time. It takes time for them to nurture. It's like you need to, being an MFD, I have to nurture them gradually and do it.
Okay, but tell this audience, how does it make commercial sense to you?
So basically, I can give you an example. Like 25-30 years back, Motilal Oswal was like, having a kind of 200 square feet office, and he's currently like 8,000 crore company. So at that point of time, the brokerages were 2%, and right now it's almost free. So still is surviving. So it is not that you cannot survive. You can, but it's a volume game.
It's a volume game.
Yeah.
Okay. So the lack of margin will be compensated through the higher volume.
Yeah, higher volumes, clearly.
लेकिन आपका ज़्यादातर पैसा इंडेक्स फंड में लगा हुआ है. आप ETFs नहीं बेच रहे?
Yeah, I do sell ETFs. So I don't promote much of direct equity. So I don't open much of the demat accounts. Whoever client have their demat accounts, I promote ETFs.
Okay. एक ये बात बताइए कि यहाँ पे बहुत सारे AMCs हैं जो यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं.
Right.
उनको आप क्या मैसेज दोगे कि डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स और इन्वेस्टर्स को क्या उन लोगों को बताना चाहिए ताकि पैसिव्स का टेक ऑफ और भी ज़्यादा बढ़े, एक्सिलरेट हो?
So more of the education is required. Why passive, and more of like these kind of conclaves could actually accelerate and could be a catalyst to the education of the MFDs, because most of the MFDs who I know, like they don't even know that they don't know what passive, the advantages of passive is. So the penetration is like too low till now.
ओके और आपको कई इन्वेस्टर एमएफडीज ये नहीं बोलते कि ये आदमी तो थोड़ा मेंटल है,
Yeah.
ये इतना क्यों पैसिव में अपना बिजनेस बना रहा है? आप उनको क्या बोलते हैं?
Many of them tell me that you have this wafers in margin in that, but then I'm okay with that. I know that this is the future and it's going to be the future. It's inevitable. So if I am not promoting passive today, someone else may go and give it to him. And it's like, when I speak to passive, what I have done is like for convincing passive, a new client, okay, I give him a separate meeting only for passive. I spend 1 hour only for passive because it's a core allocation to him.
ओके तो आपने कुछ प्रेजेंटेशन बना
Yeah, I
रखा
have
है?
a 25 PPT presentation
Okay.
only on passive.
ओके
So when I speak to him, in the last I compare passive with like Bhagavad Gita.
ओके
So it's like in a Virat Swarup, and it's inevitable. The fund managers may come, they go. The research analysts may come, they go and they die. But index is always going to be there, was there, is there, and going to be there.
ओके फैंटास्टिक
Yeah.
ओके सो एक लास्ट वर्ड ऑफ एडवाइस टू दीज डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स many of whom have not been looking at passive funds. What would you tell them?
So I would clearly tell them, you educate yourself why passive is required, and you see the global markets. What has happened in US, and similarly it's going to be here, because day by day your outperformance going. It's not going to be easy to outperform. I can give you an example, like during ring days, like 30 years back. I remember that if there is an impact, some change, suppose Great Eastern Shipping, okay, if there is a freight rate change, the impact was after 15 days. Now, because of the technology and the information flow, it is within the
Instant.
friction of seconds. So it's difficult for any fund manager day by day to outperform. And the outperformance is always in a circular fashion. So winners keeps on changing. But index is always there. It's the market opinion. It's a collective wisdom. So it's difficult to beat the market opinion.
Okay. Any questions that any one of you would like to ask Nimish? Okay. So I think they've been convinced about the merits of passive funds, so they have no questions for you. Okay. Anyway, let's give Nimish a big round of applause for
you.
coming here and sharing his learnings with us.